Welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the prelim fights for UFC Fight Night, Covington versus Woodley. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the card and our first fight on the prelims. So in our first fight, we have in the welterweight division, Miguel Baeza versus Jeremiah Wells. So I see this fight right here. Baeza will have a lot of physical advantages over Wells. I think Wells sometimes is listed at 5'9", sometimes listed at 5'8", but judging by what I've seen and the fact that they've been boosting people's heights to make them feel better, Jeremiah Wells is 5'8". So I think that leaves Baeza, who's 6'2", with a 6-inch height advantage. And he'll have a significant reach advantage as well. So significant height advantage by a lot, and also a decent reach advantage as well in this fight. Also technical advantage, and really advantage in just about every area. When I look at Wells, how he fights, it's like he fights like a fighter who truly isn't as confident as he should be with his skills, or as comfortable as he should be, especially entering the UFC. I see a guy that is very aggressive at times and also very timid at times out there. Like he'll like to switch to southpaw and throw these little stepping side kicks just to maintain distance. He'll swing wide looping hooks at times just to get people off him. Instead of, just using his footwork or his head movement or throwing feints to get, create space, he'll do like schizophrenic. I was about to say some weird stuff, but he do some spastic stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. He do some stuff that just to get distance. That where you're lacking technical areas, you'll make it up by any way you can. Like you'll create distance by any means possible. Like you don't have the technique yet where you can create distance by just been subtle, slight footwork, move your head off angle, throwing a little jab here, stepping off here, feinting, or do stuff like stance with any little technical thing to create distance. It's like he don't have those things just yet. Like he had to do these other things. Like he had to do stepping side kicks, and it's like spamming those stepping side kicks or swinging big hooks. Just like pretty much just like trying to fan somebody away like they'll fly. That's his way of creating distance. Then a lot of it, like when I look at his wins, most of them come when he just kind of jumps and throws punch, like he kind of throw like Woodley did when he came in the UFC debut, kind of those jump. It's not nearly as technical, not nearly as clean, but basically just runs his fist into his opponent's face. Like they like try to throw a kick, like low, don't step that kick. He throw 2 punches, knock him out or rock them. So he'll jump into a lot of his strikes. So he's a short fighter. He jumps into a lot of strikes. He spans punches to create distance. Which is a southpaw to throw that stepping side kick. But really what I've seen in this fight is Baeza just the bigger, more technical, more experienced fighter at the higher level. Well, you can say Wells has more fights, but Baeza has been in the UFC and fought high caliber opponents. And I think at this point, Baeza's boxing is much sharper. I think he's a much better grappler, BJJ black belt, and he has solid wrestling as well. Wells does got a good puncher's chance, and he will make this fight interesting because this guy is not a guy that lays down. But I think at this point, Baeza just clearly the better fighter. I think he can exploit his range. Exploit his reach, exploit his height, exploit the technical advantage. And really just pick apart Wells from distance, make him overcommit, probably throw some feints out there, make him overcommit, then jab him up. Then maybe he try to jump into these punches like he likes to do, or jump into these attacks, or jump into these strikes like he likes to do. Baeza can use that to initiate grappling exchanges. And I think Baeza is more so a grappler first than a striker. He's been showing some striking a lot lately, but we must realize that Baeza was a grappler first. So a guy like Wells jumping into a lot of stuff and not really the best wrestler grappler himself. Like a guy with Baeza with that BJJ black belt and his wrestling background or his wrestling skills as well, offensive takedowns. But he can exploit him a lot of ways, exploiting on the striking and on the grappling. And I think he mixes together well and beat Wells to a decision. So in this fight, I got Miguel Baeza via decision. Now to our next fight we have in the flyweight division, Tyson Nam versus Jerome Rivera. So first off with Jerome Rivera, this guy's 5'10" at 125, so he's pretty long at 125. I don't think Tyson Nam is the shortest 125 or either. I think he's 5'6", 5'7", so not the shortest flyweight either, but Jerome Rivera is definitely taller and pretty lanky at 125. I might even say he's 5'11" at 125, but either way, he's tall and lanky. And also he's competing with Sean O'Malley for the Wet Noodle Championship Award, because I seen a fight where he got caught in I forget who the guy he fought, but the guy's in the UFC. But I'm drawing a blank right now on his name. But either way, he got caught with his opponent had a single leg on him and was raising it up, and he was trying to defend it, and then his hand just lightly touched the cage, and his whole arm bended like a wet noodle. So this guy is fragile. His body is fragile. His heart's not fragile, but his body's definitely fragile in ways. Because how you barely any bit of pressure on you, and your arm just tapped the cage, and your arm bend like a water noodle. So this guy is definitely competing with Sean O'Malley. Might even have him beat, because Sean O'Malley hasn't really. Oh, he did have an injury against Sukumtal, but against what's the name, Marlon Vera, he was just making excuses for his loss. But yeah, he definitely competing with O'Malley. But I see this fight right here. I think Jerome Rivera has a solid frame. He's a solid fighter, solid skill set. Definitely got a questionable chin and questionable durability, but the heart, determination, and pace is not And the skill set is not to be questioned, but like I said, his chin and his durability is definitely to be questioned. And I think right now his skill set, he has a good skill set. I think he could build on it, but right now I just think he's a little bit green. I'm not saying he can't pull off this fight. I still think this is a very close fight. He definitely has good odds to win this fight and has good abilities to win this fight. But I'm going to lean to the veteran and Nam this one. Like I said, I feel like Nam is a much more technical striker and a much more experienced fighter. I feel like Nam is a nice, well-rounded fighter that can definitely deal with the grappling of Rivera. On the feet, I feel like if Nam could land consistently or just land enough in this fight against Rivera, he could definitely change the course of this fight with any one punch. Because, like I said, I think Rivera get dropped by a jab, I think, twice in his last fight on Contender Series. I really feel like he lost his Contender Series fight. They gave it to him like a unanimous decision. But I really feel like his opponent had him in one whole round. I think he was stuck in the triangle, getting elbowed in the head. I think he was getting dropped, got his back taken. I don't know how he won that fight, but they gave it to him. And you might feel he won it, but I did not feel like he won that fight. But a solid fighter, solid skill set, solid frame and all. But right now, I think a fighter like Nam, with his experience and with his well-roundedness, I feel like he can neutralize the takedown for the most part in grappling exchanges. And I feel like on the feet, he can walk Rivera into strikes. And Nam packed a lot of power. And like I said, Rivera's chin is very questionable. So I feel like Nam could walk him into the power or tag him. And once he starts tagging him, the fight's going to change drastically. And I think he stops him in the second round. So in this fight, I got Tyson Nam via second round TKO. Now to our next fight we have in the featherweight division, Dvorak Minor versus TJ Laramie. I don't know how to say these people's names. I'm saying Minor and Laramie, but it is what it is. So how I see this fight right here is, this is actually a very dangerous fight for Laramie. I'm just going to say straight up, I'm picking Laramie to win this one. But this is a very dangerous fight for him because this is a guy that definitely likes to take it to the ground, pushes a high wrestling, high grappling style of fighting. Definitely got some good striking as well, but definitely always seems to go to the ground, always wants to implement his grappling. I don't think it's going to be any different. Like, he's not going to go in this fight like, I'm not going to take Minor down and I'm just going to strike with him. He's probably going to try to mix it all together. And I think he's definitely the better, more well-rounded fighter and the better fighter overall. But the fact that you're going to the ground with Minor, who's a guy that's dangerous anywhere the fight takes place on the ground, whether it's on his back or on top, this guy is very dangerous, always looking for submissions, always looking for opportunities. And we've seen him even go against high-level, up-and-coming prospects and, like, put them in dangerous areas. Matter of fact, we've seen him against two real highly touted prospects coming up in their respective divisions right now. Or matter of fact, in this division, now, because the other guy jumped to this weight class, we've seen him put those guys in dangerous situations, and they're high-level grapplers themselves. So I don't think Laramie is as good of a grappler as those guys, but I feel like at this point, like I said, with the fact that his full skill set and where he's at right now, I feel like he can definitely cause Minor some trouble. I feel like this is going to be a fight where Laramie's going to be had to defend a lot of submissions, and Minor's going to be close to some submissions, definitely threatening with them, more so than just throwing his legs up and knowing the submission out. Like, he's going to be locking in on some submissions, and Laramie's going to have to react real fast and stuff the submission, or, do the right procedures to survive, escape, shut the submissions down. Because, like I said, Minor is not just some guy that just throws his legs up, just trying to do Hail Mary submissions. He knows what he's doing. He's dangerous from all times. And these submissions, if you don't, matter of fact, even if you don't play around with him, this guy can submit you. Like, he's not like that. What I'm trying to say is basically a lot of these guys that be in jiu-jitsu, and no matter if they're black belt or this or that, they be on the back, they do submission. Everybody knows it. Even people that haven't watched MMA a day in their life, oh, that submission not going to go. But Minor is one of the guys that almost every submission he throws up, you got to worry about it. Damn, he might have that submission. No matter who he's going against, well, at least at the level that he's at currently in the UFC. Maybe going up higher, people going to neutralize his submissions better, but pretty much everyone I see him going against, even high-level upcoming prospects, or future contenders, he's been definitely threatening real well off his back. But yeah, basically, I see this fight. I feel like Laramie is a better striker on the feet, good footwork, good power, plays his shot well, good smart shot selection. Not a guy that overextends on shots. He moves his feet, get into position, land his shots, and land them with power, land them clean, land them on the mark. So definitely the better striker between the two. He's on the ground, and overall, I think he's a better wrestler and can take the fight where he needs to go. But I feel like Minor would be dangerous on the ground. By the way, dangerous matchup for Laramie, but I feel like he has all the tools to control this fight. Will be threatened with submissions a lot in this fight, but I think he'll have an answer for that. Fun grappling matchup, but Laramie coming out on top. So in this fight, I got TJ Laramie via decision. Now to our next fight we have in the bantamweight division, Andre Ewell versus Erwin Rivera. So I see this fight right here is Ewell's the taller fighter, the longer fighter. And I think between the two, stylistically wise, the better fight. I don't think Erwin Rivera's going to go out there and really mix in any real grappling on him. That'd be the best chance for him to beat Ewell. I think on everywhere else, Rivera does got heart, and he does come to bang, he does come to fight. But I think Ewell's boxing is clearly better. He'll definitely be exploiting that reach, definitely be keeping that jab on Rivera. I think Rivera can make it exciting, but for the most part, I just think Ewell just boxes Rivera up all day. And I don't think Rivera has the offensive takedown or the wrestling, grappling to really, put Ewell in too many bad positions, or at least not hold him there, because Ewell's been in there with some solid grapplers, and like I said, his takedown defense and grappling is not all that good, but against Rivera, who's, like I said, he's not no super stud in grappling or wrestling or any of those areas either, and he's going to be on a size equation as well, being with like 5'4", very small guy. Like I said, he's active and all, he's a good fighter, but like I said, when you're going against a guy with that much of a reach advantage on you, and they got a good boxing like that, and you're like not super spectacular or anywhere, you're tough and you're a fighter, but you're going to be getting boxed up all day, and that's what I see happening. So, to get to the point, Andre Ewell via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the bantamweight division, Randy Costa versus Journey Newson. So, matter of fact, I'm going to get into this fight, and I really haven't even thought about it too much. Well, I've thought about it, but I haven't really came to a conclusion on my pick, and I'm going to really, this looks like a spot-on pick right here. You got Randy Costa versus Journey Newson. So, it's going to be spot-on. It's going to be real quick with this one, because yeah, like I said, this is spot on, so it's not going to be like a whole bracket of detail in this one. But like at Journey Newson, he looked a little bit stiff on the feet, but definitely pack a lot of power, definitely active, definitely fast hands and fast power. But like I said, I feel like he definitely needs some improvements on his striking, definitely needs to work and fine tune that, but he got the power and he got that, he got this. But strength, he got wrestling as well. Definitely not the biggest bantamweight as far as vertically wise, kind of a more muscular, short bantamweight. Then going against Randy Costa, who we really haven't seen much from. Like, he dropped one fighter in his last fight, and then we came to UFC. His first fight was against I'm getting his name right now, but yeah, Brandon Davis. Yeah, Brandon Davis pretty much suckered him up, took a lot of his shots early on. Then in the second round, he took him down and submitted him in short succession. So Randy Costa, I'm not really high on his jiu-jitsu. I feel like his striking, he kind of overcommits a lot. So this is kind of a pick 'em fight, and I'm going to lean to a Journey Newson. I feel like Costa kind of overextends on a lot of his shots. Definitely got a lot of power and definitely more technical than I give him credit for. But I feel like the grappling advantage will go to Newson. Not by a lot, but by a little. I feel like the wrestling will be Newson. I feel like if he wants to, he could take it down and get some control off that, control him against the cage. I feel like with Costa overstanding, like Newson don't have the most shot selection, but when a guy kind of overstanding like that, Newson has the right punches to beat a guy that overstands a lot. So if somebody doing all this extra stuff, you just come over with a right hand or coming straight down the pipe and they're trying to do these overstand these flashy kicks, that's going to beat them all day. So sometimes the basic beats the flash. Well, a lot of times the basic beat the flash, and Newson has the basics. Like, not the biggest arsenal, but he got some of the basics down, and I feel like Costa overstands, and I feel like Newson's the better grappler. So I see this fight going very competitive, but I think Newson catches him in the second round, overextending with a right hand, drops him, and finishes him off in the second round. So in this fight, I got Journey Newson via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the women's, bantamweight division, Sarah Alpar. I think this is at flyweight, but matter of fact, whatever weight class it is, I'm going to say flyweight. Sarah Alpar versus Jessica Rose Clark. And looking at this fight right here, this is going to be another cut and dry one right here. Looking at Sarah Alpar, like, just looking at how she's built and looking at how she fights, you would think she's a taller fighter, but she's only 5'4", and her reach is only 63 inches. And Rose Clark is 1 inch taller than her, and she has a 67-inch reach. So that's like a 4-inch reach advantage over Alpar. So, and look at how they fight and who they fought. Rose Clark has fought much more credible opponents and have had, pretty much everyone she's fought, no matter how good they are in the division, as far as who she's fought so far, she's been able to hold a good account for herself out here in these fights. So, and they kind of have similar skill set. Like they want to wrestle and grapple and be the take you down and control you. I think Alpar is really the best striking, so I see Rose Clark as a better striker. And we've seen Rose Clark rock Jessica Eye. We've seen her stand up with Penny Kanzad in a competitive striking matchup. And we've seen her in some other fights. We've always seen her decision Paige Van Zant. So we definitely seen her against much credible competition. And no matter who she's been in there, she's been a dog and she's been in the competitive fights. No fight has been easy with her in there. And like I said, from what I've seen with Alpar, I'm not impressed. Like, she got pillow hands and she fights like a pillow striker. She definitely wants to take you down. But I feel like Rose Clark can out-grapple her, and I feel like she could definitely out-strike her. Like I said, the height and reach are in Rose Clark's favor, definitely the reach. The height is only about 1 inch, but the reach about 4 inches. And we are not the taller fighter, and your striking is not the best. Your reach is really going to look bad. So, I mean, all that's going to look bad. So, I just see, like I said, basically, cut to the point, similar styles, Rose Clark just better at the same style. So, in this fight, I got Jessica Rose Clark via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the bantamweight division, Jordan Espinosa versus David Dvorak. And how I see this fight right here is, Jordan Espinosa is an amazing athlete. He's very fast, very sharp, and definitely kind of covers up his technique or his lack of technique in some areas with his speed. Like, definitely in the head movement, definitely some of the footwork. Like, he can move his feet real well, but it's definitely not textbook and definitely not what you would promote to anybody. He kind of gets away with it because he's fast and athletic, and plus because he can if he try to capitalize on some of those mistakes, he could blast under you and hit you with a double leg. So he got a lot of technical flaws, but he covers up with his athleticism. And when I look at also cardio issues at times, like sometimes his cardio looks okay, sometimes his cardio looks terrible. A lot of times his head movement and striking defense looks poor, but like I say, he gets by on it with his speed and athleticism. Now going against David Dvorak, I see a more technically sound fighter, more clean technical fighter. Not as athletic, not as fast, but definitely not slow. Cleaner, sharper technique, cleaner defense. Definitely has his checks and balances going down. Like, he got striking, and with his striking and his foot movement, his defense, everything's checking the boxes. Like, he checks all the boxes, where Espinosa kind of covers the boxes with his speed. Like, so he's technically defending himself, technically been offense, good takedown offense, good takedown defense. So I would definitely say Espinosa is the better wrestler in this fight as far as who could take who down. But David Dvorak has good takedown defense, good ability to get back to his feet, better cardio, better control, better fight IQ. Like, he just the more experienced, more polished fighter to me. Even though they got the similar amount of experience. Matter of fact, Espinosa might have more fights than him. David Dvorak seems like he's more like the more polished fighter at this point. Like Espinosa will try to cover everything with his speed and athleticism, but all that's gonna slow down when somebody like that is cleanly digging in your body, countering you. Even though like you might be fast, but somebody could time you and counter you and slow you down, make you hesitant, defend the takedown. You start breathing heavily, start walking you down and chewing you up, chewing the leg up. I just think that's what's happening. Like, Espinosa's gonna try to come out, be fast, and try to get some takedown, throw some little fast punches, duck under, get takedown. But Dvorak can be stuffing him or getting back to his feet, then continue to work, chew up his leg, go to his body, counter him, and wear down the faster, athletic fighter. Then when Espinosa starts to really breathe heavily and start to be walked down, I think Dvorak starts to pick him apart slowly. Then I think he puts him away in that third round. So in this fight, I got David Dvorak via third round TKO. Now to our prelim headliner, we have in the women's flyweight division, Mayra Bueno Silva versus Mayra Romero Borella. So similar names, and almost got tongue-tied. Matter of fact, I did get tongue-tied there, but another cut and dry one. I know you're probably going to hate this or hate me saying that or whatnot, but I can't help it right now because it is what it is. But Bueno Silva versus Romero Borella. I feel like Borella, as far as overall MMA, she's the more rounded out fighter. Like, she fits the part of full mixed martial arts. While like Bueno Silva, like she's definitely a grappler, but her striking is ever improving. She definitely got a lot of power. Matter of fact, in her last fight, she was supposed to be the grappler, and she was going against Marina Moroz, and it was the opposite. Marina Moroz really went off her grappling, and Bueno Silva was tagging Moroz up on the field. Matter of fact, I think Moroz was she was looking the part of the better striker early on in the fight. Then Silva just kept countering her and catching her, and then she started going to grappling. And then she had to basically went off her grappling. So the striker beat the grappler via grappling, basically. Not like she was just out grappling and being a better BJJ player, but more so like she was holding on and controlling that top position and winning based off that, landing a little bit of ground and pound and won a decision based off that. So that shows you that Bueno Silva's striking is definitely improving. And even if her striking isn't all that good, she definitely got some power. She could tag you up real good. So basically, yeah, that. So Mayra Romero versus Borella. Like I said, I think Morella's the more polished fighter, but just being polished don't really mean a lot, especially when you're like on a 3-fight losing streak. I think Bueno Silva packs more power. She can land those shots. I feel like Borella can control the takedown, but I feel like whether it's on Silva's on her back or on top, she's the better grappler. I feel like Borella tried to take her down. All she's gonna do is get reversed or tapped out. She did just get tapped out by I forget her name right now. Oh yeah, she got tapped out by Courtney Casey. So if Courtney Casey tapping y'all, I'm not knocking against Courtney Casey, but Bueno Silva is a much higher level black belt than Casey. So how I see this fight is like I said, Borella looking like the cleaner fighter, but Bueno Silva being the more effective fighter, landing the harder shots, affecting Borella with her shots, and making Borella maybe had to turn into a wrestler in this one. And I see Bueno Silva getting the better of the grappling. I think Borella might have survived early on. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna say survivor. I think what's gonna happen is she'll get competitive. She'll look clean and technical, but she'll start getting tagged up. She'll go for a takedown, and then she'll get submitted from Bueno Silva. Like Bueno Silva's gonna submit her off her back, just like she got submitted off her back in her last fight against Courtney Casey. So like she'll be the cleaner technical fighter, but Silva's gonna be the more effective fighter, landing those hard shots and making Borella have to make a second option. That second option is gonna end up her getting submitted. Like go for a takedown. Bueno Silva's gonna invite it, and then she's gonna tap her out from on bottom. So in this fight, I got Mayra Bueno Silva via first round submission. And that concludes my fight predictions for the prelims of UFC Fight Night, Covington versus Woodley. And as always, thanks for watching.